Started from the bottom, made it to the top. I need to plant some mealwood so my Dracos don't drop off, as you guys have recommended over here in the comment section. I don't have a lot of time tonight. As you can see, I'm getting an excessively late start, so it's going to be a little bit of a short video. We'll see. But in this video, I'm going to focus on the ranch over here. You guys were talking about it last time, shrinking it up and making it nice and tall so that I get the right amount, or I get the most amount of critters inside of this area. And there's a couple of good recommendations that you guys were talking about as far as to actually grow Dracos. So all these guys right down here, we're talking about the Dracos, and there's more talks about the Dracos up here. So Dukin, Davila, Michael, Perfect Death. All of these guys were actually talking about the same sort of idea. And that is to take my ranch and make it nice and vertical, and then have mealwood growing here on the bottom, or bristle blossoms, so that the Dracos will actually eat from that, the actual plant. And then they'll go up to the top, and I'll have hydrogen up there, because apparently they go and they become inactive when they're in hydrogen. Yeah, so they go idle when in hydrogen, and that's what Perfect Death was talking about here. So all of this was kind of summed up by Duncan Phillips up here, which got a lot of upvotes and whatnot. So they eat the actual plants. So planter boxes, mealwood, they don't actually eat the lice. And then the scales and fur only grow in hydrogen. So I'm going to rework my ranch so that I can actually have some happy Dracos in my base. So in order to make that work, I need to clear this area of water, otherwise I'm going to have a massive flood. And that would not be good. First things first, I need to build a ladder over here so that my duplicants can get access to this side, and then they'll be able to drain the water out and to the left. Also, this latest update, which is the cosmic upgrade here, will be available, or it should be available tomorrow or the day after. It says one day, so I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday, so it should be pretty soon to when this video is actually coming out. I don't know the exact date because, you know, I don't actually work for these people, but okay. So one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a second option for this hydrogen to pipe out, because that's what I'm going to use in order to fill the top area here. It's also useful because I can pipe it some other places and use it, you know, here, there, and everywhere, wherever I want it. So I'll just place a little gas valve right there. Boom. And we could just kind of plumb that around. Look at how few gas pipes there are in my base. It's gotta stand for something. Now compare that to how many liquid pipes I've got going on here. You're actually talking about how in the world am I going to keep this base cool? Well, I'm going to have a lot of cooling loops. Now I might do some of them with gas, but I also might do some of them with liquid as well. And a lot of that's going to come from this nice cold biome over here and then pipe over. I'm guessing by the time I'm done here, this thing's going to look like a circuit board. We're getting pretty close already, but it's going to be insane. Okay, and another thing that I can do is, I can get to the Prince Puff, and I can get to some Thimblereed over here on the left. You can see that there's 7 reed fibers right there, which is a good start for actually making some of my Atmo suits. So I'll put a door in here so that I don't end up filling my whole base with a bunch of polluted or Slimelung. There's only a little bit right there, so that's not too bad. But I just don't want duplicants going in and out of there all the time. You guys were talking about methods to keep Slimelung out of your base. Obviously, what I'm doing down here is kind of, well, it's one method. It's not necessarily the best method, but it's working. But it's really to keep your base in an oxygen-rich environment because, you know, Slimelung dies in oxygen. It also definitely dies in chlorine, so that works too. Ooh, look at what I got here, a little baby sage hatch. Check it out. You're gonna make me so much coal. I hope you're hungry. Wait a minute. Where you going, Nicola? If I could find a spot to put a feeder in here, that would actually be a good idea. Aha! They built the ladder. Excellent. Oh, wait a minute. Don't do all of that. Not yet. Cancel everything. What I want you to do is build some mesh I'm gonna need to make this bigger. Okay, so while I'm trying to build that, let's try to build this guy up as well. Not that far. Don't destroy everything. Now, this has so my auto sweeper has a 9 tile reach. So that's going to be how wide this ranch is. So that puts the other side right there. And then it's going to be about 10 tiles high with a little bump out for a little bit extra space. That way I can get the room to its maximum size of 96. So it'll kind of go up and then over and then up again. So many hatches. Oh, yeah. And this was a fun recommendation. Mike B said, you can use bridges. They don't use metal. So down here, if I go to shipping, conveyor rails, as you can see, it uses 100 of the raw metal, which is a lot. However, a conveyor bridge uses rock. So if I really just want to go from one spot to another without using as much material, I could do a lot of bridges to get there. And you know what? That might not be such a bad idea, because that saves me 100. It would cut the construction cost by 33%, because you get one tile back for each bridge you build. As far as metal is concerned, I'll probably use. Anyhow. So if I'm thinking of this from like a delivery system sort of setup, I want a main loop that would just kind of run around my base, and anything can be delivered onto that main loop, and it gets sorted out down here. Once I get down there, then that will then feed off to the different places where it needs to go. So everything goes to a hub, and then that hub distributes it throughout the base. Yeah, I could see that working. I built a ladder that's impossible to get to. No! Where are you going, Hatch? No! Stop! No, stop jumping through the door. Darn it. Oh, no. Oh, no. The hatches are free! No! Watch all of them get stuck in this pneumatic door. A little bit of mesh tile. Yeah, let's just mesh it all up there. That'll be good. Granite action. You know what's up. How's this pipe looking? Bam. Are you serious, Gossman? Gossman, you are the smartest duplicant I have. You're a mechatronics engineer, and what do? You build yourself into the one spot where you get stuck and you'll suffocate and die. These duplicants, every single time they do this. If it wasn't for me, there would be no hope for you. All right, so here's what I'm going to do for the ventilation. We're going to use that same sort of bridge trick that we used last time. If I get rid of this, you guys taught me about this one, so, and then if I put the bridge as the first option, then that's what will be used. So I want to fill this with a big charge of oxygen if possible. However, if that is full, then it can go ahead and just kind of dump it into my base, and then I'll have a lot of oxygen, which will be good. You guys were saying that this pump here is not capable of, running this thing 100%, and that's fully true. I've done plenty of experiments on that. But this thing doesn't need to run 100%. That's kind of the difference. I'm expecting it to run intermediate, every now and then. Oh man, look at all this wrangling that has to happen. Meep, your hatches have run off. I also like this other idea. I mean, there's no shortage of ideas and things to do, but you can fully automate a farm, or I really like this mushroom idea for farms that Mr. Hoverboard over here has. So fill it with carbon dioxide, but then use a bunch of muffs. I really like this idea from Mr. Hoverboard over here for a fully automated farm. Now this farm would be growing mushrooms, and you can see what he did is he has mushrooms and he can deliver slime from puffs with an auto sweeper, so that directly just goes right to it. And since that's in carbon dioxide, they would grow, and then they automatically get picked up and delivered out. So I like that idea. That's probably going to be one thing that I'll build here eventually. I'm looking forward to exploring different farm ideas and whatnot, and kind of making that work. Gotta wrangle some more hatches, man. Who put this door here? Like, why would you do that? What was I doing? I completely lost. Oh, we gotta dig up over here. That's what I was doing. All right, Bubbles, you're about to become very wet. Yeah. Way to go, dupes. That actually worked really good. This is gonna be good for stress. Glad you're having a good day, Gossman. Oh man, another hatch. And another hatch. Hatches everywhere. How many hatches do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy. I've got more than I can count. Are they crowded yet? Overcrowded, yeah. -5 happiness. But how is their happiness so far? Are they at least a... Well, I don't need them to have more babies at this point. I need your coal. I need your poop, hatches. I'm going to need a lot of ranches. Like, all this is just going to be ranches. And I want to have many shine bugs, more shine bugs, so that I can get power out of that. Yes. Oh, so many things. Awesome. So my little conveyor loader is up and running. We can take a look at this. We can see all of this coal. Look at all that coal. Yeah, buddy. Boosh. So that was at like 200, but now look at it. 470. It's just going to keep going up. Bam. Just like that. I went from like 200 to 1,712 kilograms in that one storage compactor. I like it. Bam. And there goes some more coal right down here. So they're eating this clay, and that gets swept up. We take a look at the overlay. There goes 15 kilograms. Boom. Perfect. So perfect. Okay, so just a couple more things to build right here, and then we can go ahead and crack that open and let the water flow. Diet, polluted oxygen. Ooh, and then make slime. So, I have lots of polluted oxygen down here. Oh, where else do I have a lot of polluted oxygen? Yeah, I kind of like where this is going. Plus an auto sweeper, plus a mesh tile. Little ranch for some puffs. Yeah. Alrighty. Yes. Now sweep up these reed fibers. Ooh, I got 8 of them. Yes. That's a lot of exosuits I can make. 6. No power. What do you mean no power? I guess I let that run down a little too far. Alright, let's let this water flow. Oh. Hang on. Don't let it flow just yet. Hang on. Just hold on. Hold on. What I want to see is those little reed fibers over there get swept up, and now I have power, and now we have the exosuit forge. Way to go, Bubbles! Look at this Atmos suit. Wow! Darn it. Alright, let's unleash the flood. And here we go! All that water's flowing to the left, slowly. And we're just going to not let anybody through that for a little while. While all this water flows down here to fill up this basin. That should really change the temperature that I have down here. You can see that stuff that's flowing in is at 24 degrees Celsius, and the water that was down here was actually a little bit hotter at 35. So that'll kind of knock some of the heat out of that. It'll also help this be right here. There's a giant heat sink above it. So for the time being, that'll keep this from, heating up my base too much. That is until I get a proper cooling loop, and holy cow, how much water do I have going on in here? Build up more. I don't know. It might, don't flood. Don't flood. No. Okay, build that tile. Just enough. Alright, so I can mop up and clear out the rest of this water. It's a lot of mopping, but a lot of that will then be delivered down here, hopefully, to this guy, so that I can cook it right off the bat, right away. And it should be all germ-free. Yeah, it's all germ-free. That's good. Alright, so in order to make this work, I'll need to rearrange this a little bit, even though I just finally got it built. Oh well. Alright, so now I have a little bit of hydrogen that's going to be flowing over here to start to fill this top chamber. That should be good. Kind of oxygen, polluted oxygen, carbon dioxide, so really I can't grow up there because that's going to be hydrogen. So, cancel that. What to have up there? Just mesh tiles, I guess. Or nothing. Actually I'm going to need to convert this to food down here. So, what I should build is a little bit of a drop. I should build a drop off over here. Just kind of stage all of my hatches on the other side. This is completely unnecessary. I could just wrangle them once they fall through the floor. Oh well. Yeah, I got a plan now and I'm sticking to it. Or they won't even fall through the floor. What? What are you doing, Brothgar? What are you doing? I don't know. Everybody gets wrangled today. That's all that's happening. So the shearing station. That's what I can move up there. And then I want the auto sweeper to be right there. So we'll deconstruct that, which means that ladder probably needs to move to the right. But just one little tile. And that means I can build the loader again. And I can also put the receptacle right next to it. Ha! Starting to look pretty good there. We'll deconstruct that. We don't need that. That'll go here once I get there. So I can grow these little farm tiles. Excellent. And we'll disable auto harvest on them because I won't need that. Oh, but where's my ladder gonna go? Is the grooming station? Nah, the grooming station can't go up there. So deconstruct that and just put a door there. Good idea, man. And then, since we should be able to auto sweep through a mesh tile, I could just kind of build that over and get rid of the ladder altogether. Which means if I convert that tile right there, let's say to an, can I go to an airflow? No. Can I go to a mesh? That just might forever remain a farm tile. Oh, maybe I could deconstruct it. But I should be able to fit one more over here on the right. All right, so where'd you go, Plastic Dreco? Plastic Dreco? Don't tell me you died. Oh no, you're way up over here. Oh man. Oops. I'm one tile too short of the maximum room size. Meep. 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 Oh, he's just, oh, okay. He was just waiting. Plastic. 150 kilograms. Ooh, we can start to do some fun stuff now once we get some plastic up in here. It's going to take a little while to get enough hydrogen in here, but it's pretty close as it is. At some point here, I'll probably want to put a sensor so that I can maintain a certain level of hydrogen inside of here. Maybe even give it a pump so I can pump some out in case the pressure drops or something like that. Because I really need to maintain a level so that I don't lose hydrogen and let it seep out into the base like we have some up here. So we'll get fancy with it, but that'll have to happen here in the next episode because I'm out of time. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little episode here of the Ultimate Automation Challenge. If I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. Stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out.